How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting and welcome back to Muv-Luv Monday, where we're here in Alternative. So we're jumping into things. Apparently, this is the start of an interesting arc. Some of you said yay, some of you said eh. We'll jump into it anyway. All I know so far is that while the Blue Flag tournament is continuing on and we're preparing to try and develop a strategy to fight the Infinities, the Americans, looks like there's some underhanded stuff going on. It involves the bar lady, who was really cool, we really like, and now it looks like there's something going on with the mechanic chief. So let's see how that goes. But ultimately, we're still cheering for Yuuya, Cryska, Inya. Like, they're all great. Love all the characters, super fun. So now let's see how things play out and see if anything interesting happens today. So might as well get started. How's it going? Getting in the swing of things yet?
なんとか。お前アラスカは初めてだったな。はい。これから寒くなるし、忙しくもなるからな。しっかり気を引き締めてかかれよ。了解しました。ありがとうございます。
Okay. So he's probably a plant if it's
最初はどうなることかって思いましたよ。補充されるのは経験のない若造と今まで使ったことがないシステムときましたからね。
情けねえこと言うんじゃねえよ。人間も組織もな。一人前に育っていく過程を見守るのが楽しいんだぜ。
なるほど。さすが班長殿。自分を捨てた嫁さんと息子さんの生活の面倒を見ているだけのことはある。よっ、人格者
That's a low blow.
当たり前だ。それが男の度量ってもんよ。
何せ班長殿はこの前の大穴を当ててるからな。心も懐もあったかいんだよ。間違いない。
ほんとかよ。班長ギャンブラーですね。普通アルゴスにはかけられないっすよ。
俺も取ったぜ。いい誰のなら。
銀行レースじゃねえか。あんなんは相当な金額をつぎ込まねえと儲けなんか出ねえだろ。
Interesting. That's the kind of the trouble though. Is like, so like they're betting on a tournament and their mechanics that work on the TSFs. Couldn't that mean that, like, if they start getting worried, they could lose? Couldn't they potentially, like, introduce something and try and purposely throw the match, you know, out of their own self-interest? That's why betting pools can become dangerous.
お前みたいなやつは絶対に大儲けできないだろうな。
よく覚えときな。賭け事で本当に頼りになるのは、周りの声じゃなくて自分の直感なん。おい、待て！ナンバー34は並走管理部門に直で引き渡しだ。てめえは伝達事項をちゃんと頭に入れてんのか？
Yeah, what's number 34?
いえ、班長。これは宛先の変更があったみたいですよ。
なんだと？そんな急な変更は？合ってるな。まあ、新型戦術機だの、新兵器だの、軍事機密がいろいろ来てるから、こういうケースもあらあな。すまなかったな。何せ軍事物資の管理は基地警備レベルの問題になるからよ。
Yeah.
つい言葉も荒くなっちまうんだ。
It looks like it'd be way too easy to deliver highly sensitive materials to the wrong location where everyone's here.
問題はありません。
よし！てめえらあとちょっとだ！気合い入れてかかれよ。それと金を上がったらいつものバールに集合だ。俺のおごりだから懐の寒い奴は遠慮なく来い。おい、新人！早く一人前になって、俺たちに楽させてくれよ！頼むぜ！
はい、わかりました。任せてください。もうすぐ楽になりますから。
Oh, fetch me. That's terrifying. Oh, man. Come again?
インフィニティーズと一戦交える前に、私たちがアグレッサー役、やってあげてもいいわよ。
Are you saying in TSFs, right?
お前いきなり現れて何言ってんだ
Oh, come on. She's great.
あら、仮想ラプターをやれる舞台なんてめったにないわよ。ステルス戦の経験はもちろん、うちの機体は機動力を強化されているから、いろんな意味で最適でしょ。
I mean, it's not a bad idea, but it might just be she wants another rematch with Yuuya.
なるほど。
こっちのセンサーを制限すれば、疑似ステルスとしての役割も演じられるわね。ありがたい申し出だとは思うけど。
そうだな。上と掛け合ってみよう。
Hey, are you sure it's okay?
何か問題があるのか？
Well, not like a problem, but
見返りはなんだよ。 何のメリットもなく、そんなこと言い出さないだろ
Yeah, yes. There's some kind of motive.
そりゃ、統一中華戦線としちゃ、少しでも多くのデータは欲しいってことだろ。ウータイだって、指揮官としてこのまま引き下がるわけにもいかねえだろうしな。
So she tries to give us some time to do a fairly relatively practical practice run. But in return, she gets to learn more about the Shiranui second.
そんなのは別にどうだっていいのよ。私からの条件は一つ。
Uh-oh.
条件
Uh-oh.
ユーヤブリッツ。
Oh no. Huh?
協力のお礼に私とデートしなさい。いいわね。
Boy. What?
デート？
準備は整った。今朝方、成功の方があったのは知っていよう。いよいよその時が来たのだ。諸君、あとは決行するのみである。計画に従い、作戦を次の段階に進めようではないか。
So this is that one, I think the German guy, right? The German major? And it must have been him that was like, who got the shipment sent to the wrong place.
その前に、もう一度よく考えてみるべきね。
ほう？
Oh, nope.
計画の進行に何か問題があるとでも。
Who is this guy? I felt like we've heard him talking before, but I don't remember him.
いいえ。進行そのものに問題はない。慌てて繰り上げた割にはうまくいっている。気持ち悪いぐらいにね。あんたのプランや段取りが、それだけ柔軟で優れてるってことは認めるわ。
では、今さら何を蒸し返すのか。
よせ。
どうも。ええ。確かにあんたは立案の天才だわ。でも、完全な作戦なんてありえない。だから成否の可能性は常に検討するべきよね。
If I were in a chain of command, this is the role I would essentially play. I'd be the person who's trying to like think from every angle, and because I've really been good at putting myself in other people's shoes. It's part of why I get so involved in stories like this, is because I can really immerse myself in the shoes of the characters that we're listening to, and also like the different perspectives that different characters have. Hopefully, it's a talent that I can utilize to be a good writer and be able to make my own content. But then it does work into plans when you're trying to work with people. It can be helpful in negotiation. It can be helpful in simply like finding common ground. But it also can be useful when you're doing something risky to kind of do proper threat assessment. It tends to make you a bit paranoid, and it can become paralyzing if you let it like grip everything you do, like kind of like hold out against anything you would normally attempt because you're terrified something might go wrong. But it's still useful to at least consider.
正論だな。だが、いたずらに時を浪費すれば、ほころびが生じやすくなる。であれば、可能な限り速やかに実行すべきだという結論で合意したと記憶しているが。
Right.
リズメで黙らせることと、納得づくで同意させるのはまるで違うわ。
She's like, you're not persuading me of anything.
思い出して。ここは軍隊じゃないの。私たちは、あんたやあんたの部下みたいに兵隊だったわけでもない。大きな疑問を棚上げしたまま命令に従うなんてロボットみたいな真似。できない。
無意味な挑発はやめろ。一体何が言いたい？
そうね。いきなり始まった例の大演習。あれは完全なイレギュラーよね。
Okay.
でも、内通者からの情報によれば、当初予定していた決行日の数日前には終わるってことだったはずだけど。
So whatever this group is doing is unrelated to the blue flag, or it's like the blue flag was just an unintended like incident that's happening along the course of their plan. So that's interesting.
世界中の開発部隊が参加してる大規模演習よ。基地の警戒レベルも当然上がってるし、その分リスクも高くなった。なのに、わざわざそれに合わせて計画を前倒しにするなんて、私みたいな凡人にはどうしても理解できないわね。
I don't really know the nature of exactly what they're doing, other than the fact that it's obviously espionage and, skullduggery based. So here's my thinking off the surface of what I know currently. So running theories. First of all, so they didn't really know about blue flag, and they had some kind of plan in motion and action, right? So it has nothing to do with the actual blue flag. Benefit of waiting. waiting, like she's pointing out, DEF CON is already pretty high. A lot of people are on edge. And if something goes down, there's going to be a lot of people who can respond. Counterpoint. With so many interested parties from so many different governments all packed together in such a small place, if something chaotic were to happen, people might start assuming the worst. And the chaos levels are going to be much higher. If this base was simply, filled with just Russians and UN troops, like as soon as something bad happened, you'd have those forces scrambling, they'd be looking around, they'd be watching each other, but at the same time, they'd be pretty aware of what's going on in their own little areas. With the blue flag, everyone has to start watching everybody. Everyone's watching the Chinese, they're watching the Japanese, they're watching the Americans, everybody would be watching each other. It would be a lot easier for something to slip through because the chaos levels would be a lot higher. Again, you're surrounded with a lot of very prominent, very powerful, effective, and frankly, incredible people. But if they're all at each other's throats, it could make it easier to do whatever you're doing. It also ultimately depends on what this operation is.
なるほど。完全な計画がないように、完璧な状況もありえない。物事には必ずリスクが伴うものだ。お前は失敗を恐れるあまり、安全策という消極に逃げたがっているのではないか？
自らに課せられた使命は命に変えても全うする。だからこそリスクは可能な限り排除したいだけ。だいたい、今のは質問の答えにはなっていないわよ。まさかとは思うけど、逃げてるんじゃないでしょうね。
Interesting. She's very forthcoming about all this.
君の心配は最もだと思う。
マスター。
計画や作戦は何度でも立て直すことができる。だが、後期は違う。ひとたび逃せば、次がある保証はない。まして、人の命ともなれば、一度きりだ。主が授けたもうたそれらを無駄にするべきではないという君の思いは正しい。
Who is this master? I swear this voice is familiar, but that's really tough to follow with because the one thing about Eclipse so far that I'm not a huge fan of is just the absolute titanic amount of side characters. I'm great with the core. It's really fun, really dynamic, well written. But I feel like every time we go into such a thing, it feels like it's maybe they're supposed to be red herrings, maybe they're hints at things that are supposed to be coming, but it feels like every kind of intrigue thing. So there's the island retreat issues. Then there was the beta attack with the railgun destruction. And now here at the blue flag, it feels like in each group there were multiple parties at work and we never learn anything about any of them. And they're all different. It feels like every time it's there's somebody else at the helm of what suspicious looking group's going on here. It's it's getting to the point where the intrigue is really interesting because it's so dynamic and it's so realistic where you're never dealing with just one secretive party, you're dealing with dozens. But it's overwhelming from a story perspective because it's I don't know who this is. It's trying to be all subtle and hinting at what up. It's there's 12 people now that I feel are being super sneaky and subtle and all having their own plans, and it's impossible to keep up with.
はい。
そして、我々が直面している過酷な状況を打開すべく、全身全霊を捧げて作戦を立案したあなたも、また正しい。私は、今こそが好機だと確信している。ソ連遠征と、それに続く大演習は、彼らにしても寝耳に水だったに違いない。そして、その内容は、基地を挙げての一大協議会だ。警戒レベルこそ上がってはいるが、その準備は万端ではない。
Again, that's what I said. Because there's so many people here to watch, it's security's stretched thin.
今朝方届いた潜入成功の方が、それを証明している。これこそまさに、主の導き。
It's also interesting to hear,
私には、そう思えてならない。
It's interesting to hear a religious person. So far, we haven't really come across religious people, but again, this is likely somebody who's from America or some of these other Western nations that might have a bit more of a religious slant than, most of these games are written by people from and thus from a perspective of Japan, and Japan is very, they have their spiritualist traditions, but actual religiousism and religious affiliations are fairly uncommon, at least openly.
クリストファー少佐。そして、 バレンタイン。我々主の子らが、どれほど努力を重ねようとも、手のひらからこぼれ落ちる砂粒はあまりにも多い。だが、恐れてはならない。我らは世をあるべき姿に戻し、主の計画を実現するために、自らを捧げると誓ったのだ。
Now this is sounding more like a cult. Like what kind of like some people might argue that the will of God is clearly that the betas should win, that they're like destroying angels and that they're here to bring about the prophesied apocalypse and that the end of like the sin on the world is like inevitable. Thus they might be trying to sabotage humanity as a whole. That's entirely possible. I've never really thought that such a group could even exist or how they would recruit members, but with a religious spin and fanaticism, like you could be persuaded to do that. Cults have done stranger things.
はい。
行動しよう。救われるべき子らのために。
Interesting. September 20th, 2001.
悠長に構えている時間はないぞ、ブリッジ少尉。ビアチェノ少尉はブリーフィングの予定があると言っていただろう。
Oh boy. She doesn't sound very happy, does she? That she did, so let's order right away.
いや、私はいい。
Oh. Are you holding back? Or are you worried about money? Because, you know, it's our treat. Can't split the bill when we're the ones who invited you.
ああ、大丈夫だ。
Best laid plans, huh? I busted my butt finding a place that serves something close to Russian food, but I guess it's not up to her standards? And she just might not trust anybody to prepare her food. Maybe the crowd is bothering her, but she'll have to bear with it. Meeting in public is the only way to avoid being suspected of leaking confidential information. Alright then, how about this? It says the Russian style right there on the menu.
私は。
よせ少尉。それ以上は無理強いになるぞ。
Yeah, sorry. I'm starving, so I kind of forgot.
私のことは気にしなくていい。貴様が食べたいものを注文しろ。
Now, Russian style, that's funny because that can mean two things. It can be like a Russian style of cooking, or it could be Russian roulette style where it has like the one sample that has like a ball of spiciness in it, you know? I can? Well, if you say it's okay, come on, Lieutenant. Maybe it's because she doesn't have permission to eat. Seems like over in the Soviet Union, your eating hours are controlled right down to the second. There's no way Cryska, the poster girl for discipline, would put her own wants first. Still, kind of weird she just refused with no further elaboration. Back in Guadalupe, she didn't even wait to be offered before launching into a tirade for the ages, pouring oil on the fire and royally pissing off Stella in the process. Could it be she's trying to be considerate because we're the ones who invited her out? She's a different person these days. First time I meet her, she was like a drawn blade. So what's the personal matter you wanted to discuss with us? I hope it's not about Inya, because I don't think I'd be much help.
問題が発生している。
Uh-oh. A problem.
そうだ。個人的であるがゆえに、私自身で解決せねばならない問題なんだ。党や軍に余計な負担はかけられない。
Interesting.
いや、かけるべきではない。
That's really strange. Like, why, when she's been such a huge stickler for like process and not trusting, you know, the evil outsiders, why is she now saying like, I can't work with my party and my people, the people I supposedly trust? Well, all right. So where do we fit in?
原因は分かっている。
Okay.
ブリッジス、貴様だ。
What did I do? I mean, enlighten me, please. What? What did I do?
貴様が原因なのは明らかだ。だが、なぜそうなるのか理解できない。
Oh no.
だから、直接本人に聞いてみることにしたのだ。
Is she gonna do the very, what is it? Is it the kudere type of thing? Is that those where you're like very emotionless, but like you have like a soft heart that you try not to reveal? I don't know if I'm interpreting that right. It's been a while since I've tried to think of those categories, really. But okay, so is she experiencing weird emotions that because she's never really had a crush, because she's never had room for a crush, or if she has, she's probably been forced to delete it out of her memories or whatever, that she has feelings for Yuuya and she doesn't know how to interpret them. Like, so she's literally asking for help, but when she explains it, it's going to be like, oh, that just sounds like you have a crush on me. And I'm knowing Yuuya, he's going to just go right over his head, not going to notice, but it's going to be a confirmation for Yuuya that yet more competition. My guess is that that's what it's going to involve, but we'll see. This feels tropey enough. Okay, I'm listening.
言葉ではうまく言い表せないのだが、貴様はどこか他のものと違うような気がする。
Okay.
イーニャが貴様に対して特別な興味を持つのも類似現象ではないかと考えている。そしてその原因が同じなのではないかとも。
And we also could consider that since they're both likely involved from Alternative 3 program, which involved, psychic, and we understand like how likely they have a psychic connection, right? So the concept of interference from somebody outside of your physical body is actually a legitimate thing for her. And whilst I'm sure she's like confident that most people aren't psychic, she's not sure how to confront feelings that she can't pinpoint the origin for, and usually associates them with something involving Enya. So now they seem to be associating with us, and so I think maybe she genuinely might be flummoxed, thinking that like there's a reason why we're somehow in her thoughts all the time.
もし差し支えなければ、その現象がどのようなものか説明してもらいたいのだが。何かがおかしいんだ。貴様のことを考える。
Oh gosh.
なんというか、集中が乱れてしまう。
Oh no.
実はさっきもそうだった。私と話している最中に、貴様と高村注意が離れ、小声で何かを喋っていただろ
Okay, alright. Yeah, just before we came inside, right? Well, that was...
あの時も、無性に落ち着かなくて。思考がまとまらなくなるというか。
Oh my gosh. Okay, alright. I don't know what we do about this. She's like, are you serious?
とにかく、このままではダメなんだ。任務にも必ず支障が出てしまう。今はまだ操縦技能で何とか取り繕ってはいるが、いずれスコアに悪影響が出る。そうなる前に、私はこの不可解な現象の原因を突き止め、それを取り除かなければならない。
Okay, well, I mean... Yeah, I don't know. We do need to be careful about this. If she follows this to a really radical line of thought, it could end badly for us, considering what she's probably capable of.
教えてくれ、ブリッジス。私はどうすればいい？
Dude, I don't even know what half the things I do. Whoa, chill a second. Seriously, I don't even know where to begin.
それにだ。休息時もそうだ。
Oh gosh.
貴様の姿が思い浮かんで、睡眠が阻害される。
Man, I feel bad for her, actually. Cryska.
私たちはスコアを落とすわけにはいかないんだ。教えてくれ、ブリッジス。一体貴様は。
I don't... Calm down. Come on, don't get carried away. All that stuff Cryska mentioned. Come to think of it, I've been experiencing these symptoms too. I was baffled, flabbergasted even, when I heard her say that I'm the source, but well, maybe it really is that simple. Hey, you said you feel that way all the time, right? Like traveling, resting, rain or shine? Well, look back. Turns out I've been feeling the same way. She's like, wait, what? Yeah, it's irritability, impatience. When you feel those intense waves of impatience come over you, it's darn near impossible to stay focused. Happened to me during the initial stages of the Shiranui Second's development.
Huh?
Yui's like, you're like, wait, what are you talking about now? This means what?
なるほど。
Oh my gosh, you two are idiots. Yui, it's probably for the best. Just let him be wrong. What's wrong?
いや。
Listen up, Cryska. Life's like running through a maze blindfolded. Sooner or later, you're bound to slam face first into a wall.
壁にぶつかる。
Darn right. Now that wall might be a change in environment you're having trouble adapting to, a heavy responsibility you've been burdened with, or a rival you have to beat no matter what. So he's going to twist that interpretation to be like, you have to beat me. Because you see me as a rival for some reason? Cryska, you said that when you think about me, you can't concentrate at all, right?
その通りだ。
Oh my gosh.
胸が締め上げられたように感じる。
I'd be back, if I were in the background like overhearing this conversation, I would have like spit my drink like 3 times now. I hate running drills when I feel like that. I always end up making ridiculous mistakes I normally wouldn't. We're talking real rookie crap.
そうだ。私も同じだ。
So you snap at yourself, hoping that'll be enough to get your head back in the game, but it actually has the opposite effect. When you consciously try to correct, all it does is worsen your anxiety.
自分で自分を追い込んでしまう。
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, I think I figured it out. And it was right under our noses the whole time. It's my darn kill score with that railgun. That's what's got you all flustered. Cryska, weren't your bosses all over your butt, putting the pressure on you to beat my numbers?
確かに、そのように言われた事実はある。
There you go.
なるほど。それが原因なのか。
Yui's like, I feel like I am both confused and dodged a bullet, so I'm just gonna sit here. I'm right through there. Dude, you've been sighing the entire conversation. I can't figure out why. I don't think I'm saying anything that out there.
そうだな。続けても全然構わないぞ。
She's just like, you know what? I'm gonna take the advantage and go with it. Since you came to me for advice, it's only right to confess that you're not the only one to have those urges. Sometimes I can feel tension building up inside me. My whole body gets stiff just by thinking about you, defeating you, I mean.
そうか。ブリッジスも同じなのか。
Oh my gosh. Gosh darn right. Still, let me tell you something, Cryska. A wise man once said that win or lose, it's a fight that's worth it all. Now, he wasn't wrong, but it doesn't quite hit the mark.
どういう意味だ?
Losing is never a pleasant experience. That much is true. But even if you lose, there's always things you can learn from your defeat. What I'm trying to say is, no experience is inherently good or bad. It's what you take from it that matters. At least that's the lesson I learned at Kamchatka. So I assume we're officially rivals now, huh? We're both burning with desire to defeat each other. Good thing a loss in blue flag won't have a fatal consequence, since there's no reason to hold back. Let's go all out and kick some butt.
Yeah.
Cryska, I gotta know what makes you tick. Do you think the only thing that matters is beating other people? Everything else be damned?
わからない。
It's just what?
貴様の話を完全に理解したわけではないが、少しは精神的に楽になった気がする。
You know what? I'm kind of leaning on Team Yui, honestly. But you gotta admit, there's a pretty weird, like, anti-chemistry going on with Cryska and Yuuya. They're both completely blind. They have no clue what they want. They have no clue what's going on around them, and they think they understand what's happening and have no idea that they're completely missing the point. It's kind of beautiful in a weird ballet sort of way. Happy I could help. Kind of funny. From the first day we met, you jumped down my throat at every opportunity.
嬉しいのか?
Yeah, all warm and fuzzy inside. Anyway, I'm just spitballing here, but it could be Inya feels the same way about me. You guys are crazy similar, after all.
私とイーニャが似ている? そうか。貴様にはそう見えるのか?
She's like, you have no idea.
ブリッジス、高村注意。礼を言う。正確に理解できたとは言い難いが、参考にはなったと思う。
Glad I could help out.
問題はおおむね解決したはずだ。私はタイに戻る。
Okay.
なぜだろうな。今私は、貴様とまた話がしたいと思っている。
Sure, my door's always open, as they say. Bring Inya along next time.
そうだな。一緒に話せればいいと思う。
That does sound actually really pleasant. Inya is like a ray of sunshine. Kind of like Kasumi, really. Like it makes sense because there's a lot of similarities between the two of them. But like both of them, they're like, any situation you're in, they make it better. They just do. Oh, look at that. That was an interesting picture.
Yuuya, さっきのビアチェノワ少尉の話だが。
Yeah, I'm psyched to hear Cryska sees me as a worthy opponent. I've been worried of one-sided rivalry this whole time. Best news I've heard in ages.
Yuuya, ビアチェノワ少尉は貴様に。
Yui, it's fine. Let him just, whatever.
焦がれて悩んでいたのではないのか？
What? Get out of here! Why would Cryska be into me?
もう少し彼女の対応に気を配ってもよかったのではないかと言っているんだ。そうすれば隠れていたものが見えたかもしれないのに。
Okay, first of all, Yui, I think you're projecting here because while I think you're right, I think you're more frustrated that he's not reading between the lines with you. Because if we're honest, Cryska isn't reading between her own lines. So if he actually came to a conclusion and said, "Hey, do you think you like me?" she would have been like, "Nah, that can't be it." Hey, I resent the implication. Why do you think what was that? Oh, I think I hit the spacebar by accident. Hey, I resent the implication. And why do you think she likes me anyway? She's like, how do I explain this? Come on, Yui, don't leave me hanging. I'm gonna be up thinking about it all night. That okay with you? You want your main test pilot to collapse from lack of rest?
答えは自分で導き出せ。
I know, right?
大体貴様は他人の気持ちを洞察するという人間として大切な点が大幅に欠けているのだ。
She's projecting, but she's right. For crying out loud, what a cruel lead developer we have. Do you get a kick from bullying your development staff? Besides, you're one to talk.
日本人嫌いでも、相手が女性なら問題はないみたいだな。
Oh, hi. Nice to know you're here to spoil all the fun.
随分と都合がいいやつだな。感心したぜ。
Ah, fetch, not you.
最初っから捨てるつもりだからどうでもいいってか？おっと、失礼いたしました。ぶしつけな言葉遣いをお許しください。初めてお目にかかります。自分はアメリカ陸軍第65戦闘共同部隊所属、レオン・クゼ少尉であります。
日本帝国近衛軍高村唯中尉だ。機関の活躍は耳にしている。
恐縮です、高村中尉。私も XFJ 計画の成果には驚きを禁じ得ません。アメリカと日本の技術交流があれほどの戦術機を生み出すとは、
He's here
日系
showing
ア
up
メリ
our
カ人と
boy.
して誇りに思います。
Mother trucker thinks he's so slick, hasn't changed a bit. The entirety of Little Fort, and I just have to bump into Sharon and this dickwad. Sharon's the same as always, too.
久世少尉、失礼だが、貴様のお父君は、アメリカ海軍太平洋艦隊に所属する、久世提督ではないか？
Interesting. Wait a minute. Did we meet Admiral Kuze in the day after? That sounds familiar.
父の名をご存知でいらっしゃいましたか？
久世提督だけでなく、ご祖父君も、帝国軍人であれば知らぬ者はいない。どんな苦境にあっても、日本人としての高潔さと誇りを忘れず、見事に体現なされた。お二方とも、尊敬すべき先人だ。
ありがとうございます。帝国近衛であられる中尉殿のお言葉を知れば、二人とも大変喜ぶものと思います。
確かに、日本とアメリカの間では不幸な歴史があった。だが、日系人部隊の話を聞けば、先人たちがどのような思いで生きてきたのかは想像がつく。特に久世提督は、ベータ日本侵攻の際、避難民移送でどれほど尽力いただいたことか。一人の日本人として、心から感謝している。
The Purple Heart Battalion, huh? The 442nd is the most decorated unit in American history, composed almost entirely of Japanese-American soldiers. I've heard the story so often, mostly from this showboating truck, that I'm sick of it. Always the same crap with this asshat. When people say nice things about the 442nd, he acts like it's him they're blowing, but Daddy's boy hasn't even seen a single minute of actual combat. All the horses, Yuuya. You might be qualified as seeing actual combat now, but just barely.
父も高村中尉と同じようなことを話していました。戦略思想の違いや国の立場により完全に協力することは叶わなかったが、日本人のことに近衛の優先には日系人として胸が熱くなるものがあったと。
Boy, this Leon is a slick cat. Funny enough, it's like I can talk my way through too, but like this, I'm so slated on bias towards Yuuya that I'm just sitting there just like boo.
国は違えど人は通ずる。私は未だ若輩の身ではありますが、祖父と父の、そして日本人の血を受け継ぐ者として、先人の名を汚さぬよう精進していきたいと思っています。
He's really trying to get, like it feels like he's specifically trying to get underneath our skin. Screw this.
ユウヤ、どこに行く？まだ食事は済んでいないぞ。
Yeah, lost my appetite for some reason. I'll see you back in base, alright?
ちょっと待て。
Last thing I want to see is Shogun Jobber going all Yamato Damashi on the rest of us. Man, I shouldn't be so pissed off, but this braggadoci always gets to me.
また逃げるのかよ。腰抜け野郎が。ご存知かと思いますが、私はそこにいるブリッジス少尉と同じ部隊に所属していました。当時のブリッジス少尉は兵士としては優秀でしたが、独断専行の傾向が見受けられ、目的を達するためには手段も過程も無視するような傲慢なやつでした。
I'm not going to be happy at the end of this recording, am I? This is not going well. Leon, you brazen mother trucker, what are you getting at?
ここに来て良い方向に変わったという評判を聞きましたが、傲慢な態度は相変わらず、上官に対する口の利き方すら改善されていない。自分の才能を鼻にかけて、周囲の迷惑は何も考えないガキのままだ。
やめろ、ユウヤ。クゼ少尉もそれ以上挑発するんじゃない。
高村中尉。あの94セカンドという素晴らしい機体も、日本嫌いの市場丸出し野郎に任せて、
Are you serious?
存分に成果を上げられないでしょう。よかったら、私が代わりに。
I will punch you in the face myself! Please, the only thing trashier in your personalities are your piloting skills.
てめえのわがままを誰がバックアップしてたと思ってるんだ、このバカ野郎!
Nobody asked you for your help. It's not like you could help me in the first place, B.
やっぱり始まっちゃったか。
You stop sounding so happy.
はじめまして、高村中尉。第65戦闘共同部隊のシャロン・エイム少尉です。あっちの大きいのがガイロス・マクラウド少尉。
There.
私は帝国近衛軍高村優衣中尉だ。よろしく頼む。
This is so bad. I don't like this at all.
エイム少尉と言ったな。あの二人を止めたい。手を貸してくれ。
Another interesting picture. And she's like, no, just sit back and watch. This is the best part.
無駄ですよ、高村中尉。まあ、あの二人に関しては、下手に止めるより、とことんまでやり合わせた方がいいんですよ。しかし、大丈夫です。いつものことですから。それに、9勝9敗12引き分けですから、決着をつけるのにはちょうどいいんじゃないでしょうか。先に10勝したのは俺だって。だが、ユウヤが。あの二人、喧嘩をしながら互いに腕を磨いてきたんですから。ほんと、負けん気が強くてね。エイム少尉？やらせておけばいいんです。
Oh, Fetch, are you serious? We're doing this? Leon!
ユウヤ！てめえのひねくれた根性がムカつくんだよ。少しは他人の気持ちを考えろ。
Kiss my butt, daddy's boy. Want to teach me a lesson? I'm right here, mother trucker.
ユウヤ、やめるんだ。
いいぞ、死ぬまでやれ。クレーのフライトジャケットに10ドル。誰か乗るやつはいねえか。
なんとかしなくては。高村中尉、ここにいると巻き添えを食います。カウンターまで退避しませんか？エイム少尉、ユウヤとクゼ少尉は以前もあのようないさかいを起こしていたの。
You weren't listening. She said that they've had 9 wins one side, 9 wins on the other side, and 12 draws. That puts it at 18 plus 12. That's 30 bouts.
そうですね。結構日常茶飯事でしたね。そうなのか。ここで止めるとかえって尾を引いちゃうんです。ま、一回爆発しちゃえば落ち着くから。特にユウヤの方はね。あらら、さすがにここまで荒れると問題ね。こっちについて早々衛装入りはまずいし。ガイロス、頼める？
了解。
これ以上怪我をしなければいいけど。高村中尉、足は速い方ですか？
Oh, hey, would you ask that?
もう、軍人として恥じぬ程度には鍛錬している。それなら、大丈夫です。
MP が来たぞ。
やべえ、逃げるぞ。
こっち。しかし、ユウヤが。あの二人なら平気。慣れてるんだから。それに、出入り口は今大混乱よ。
They have a plan, and she has an exit strategy.
暴れるな。そこで静かにしろ。
高村注意。ご分を。
We have to make ourselves scarce. Yuuya, this way. We'll jump through the second floor window, lead through the alley. You with me?
そうか。あの二人は。そして。
Hostile, the MPs are coming.
待って、黙って去るわけにもいかんだろう。
We just did. Time to fly.
ユウヤ、蹴りはブルーフラッグでつけてやる。
Let's go, Yuuya. September 21st, 2001. Oh, I hated that. I hated that. $19.11 hours, local time. Alright, Natalie.
おはようございます。今日はオーロラが見られそうですね。
あら。何色でしょうね。
I'm guessing that's code phrase.
赤だと思いますよ。
Because Aurora wouldn't be up in the morning. Because 9/11, this is 9/11 in the morning. Well, I guess in Alaska you could have Aurora in the morning, I suppose, but aren't we on the summer part of the year? It's like heading towards winter, but summer part of the year means that Alaska has daylight most of the time. So 9 o'clock in the morning might sound like it. That's relatively into the morning, and only in winter even. Like no, like the sun's definitely up. You wouldn't be able to see an actual aurora. September 21st, 2001. Conference room, headquarters building, Yukon Army Base. 10:07 hours local time.
さて諸君も理解してくれたことと思うが、現状として予算の問題は芳しいものではない。現場からはもっと金をよこせとせがまれ、上層部からは予算を削減するよう求められている。
Interesting. That's a sucky place to be.
そして現実は、我々の要求の半分にも満たない金額しか追加は下りなかった。これは非常に由々しき問題だ。
Again, unfortunately, I think this is the fallout of the impending Alternative 5. They're so adamant and ready to just crush Alternative 4 at the first chance they get, and then they can just launch Alternative 5, and then the stockpile of their resources will be much more important than the actual front lines.
金の卵を産むガチョウでも飼っているなら別だろうが。あいにく、アラスカにはそのように都合のいい生き物はいないようだ。よって、皆の知恵を拝借し、追加予算の配分の調整をしたい。
So even from the UN side, it sounds like they're considering cutting the Shirney second program.
茶番もいいところですね。アメリカ施設関連以外には、さほどの追加が望めないことなど、自明ですのに。
Exactly.
全会一致で採択されたという名目のためだけに、大佐の貴重な時間を浪費するなんて、馬鹿げています。
Yeah, unfortunately that makes sense too.
極力無駄は省き、重要な項目に追加予算を割り振っていきたい。そのために、皆の意見を反映した修正案を後日、司令部から提出させてもらう。ハルトウィック大佐。機関の発案で始めた新しいプロジェクトは、随分盛り上がっているようだが、今人類に必要なものは娯楽ではないということを理解しているかね。
Entertainment. Is he talking about Blue Flag or something else?
指令が具体的に何をおっしゃられたいのか、把握しかねますが、プロミネンス計画は確実に成果を出しております。
So maybe he's saying that like Project Prominence so far is just a showboat, that it's actually, that there's nothing tangible about it yet.
成果か。素晴らしい言葉だな。ところで大佐、機関は費用対効果という言葉の意味を理解しているかね。
無論です。プロミネンス計画は投資された資金に見合う成果を出していると確信しています。
それはどうかと思うがね。ブルーフラッグに費やされた諸々の経費。例えば、燃料、物資の移送費、 保安要員の増強による人件費の増額。問題を上げようと思えばいくらでも上げられるが、経費に見合う成果は何一つ出ていないように見えるのだが。
Honestly, I kind of have to agree. I'm not sure why they did this. I'm sure he's got his reasons, but it seems like it's like a lot more to lose than to gain.
確かにプロミネンス計画の成果は簡単に目に見えるものではありません。この地で生み出されたものが各国に還流して初めて成果として見えるようになるのです。もう少し対極的な視点で物事を見ていただきたいものですな。
なるほど。この基地で得た技術を母国に持ち帰り、クソの役にも立たない戦術機を開発して、それから評価しろということだな。
言葉が過ぎますぞ、司令。発言にはご配慮を願いたい。
すまないが、私は育ちがあまり良くなくてな。口が悪いのは勘弁してくれたまえ。それに何より、私が語っているのは真実だ。
Yeesh, Project Prominence is in a lot more trouble than I thought. Not just Japan wants to cut it off, but the UN too.
戦術機開発の技術交流の促進は結構。国土を喪失した国々に開発環境を提供するのも国連の理念にかなっている。旧型機の性能を低コストで底上げして戦力強化に結びつける目的は意義のあることだと思う。
Alright, so there's a big but coming. What's your but?
だが、そこまでやってようやく開発した戦術機も、結局はラプターの足元にもはるかに及ばないではないか。この事実に、機関はどう対処するのだ?
Well, I mean, do the Raptor EMDs have stats against beta? Because I thought that was the whole point, was like reinforcing the front. Again, we know behind the scenes everyone's preparing for Babylon, but like at the same time, like what are the Raptor EMD's performances in the field? Like, are they actually being deployed against beta? Because so far it seems like they're designed for TSF dogfighting, in which case those performance numbers don't really matter because they're not practical in any way.
お言葉ですが、それは司令が前線を、今の人類の現状を認識していないからこその意見だと受け取れます。
Alright, I'm glad I was on the right track with Hartwick.
なるほど。それでは、機関はどのように認識しているのか。
まずアメリカ軍部隊の勝率の高さですが、旧型回収機と最新鋭機との間に生じる性能差を考えれば、当然の結果でありましょう。むしろ、演習で得られた戦闘データは、各国の技術者にとって非常に有用なものとなっています。確かに効率という点で考えれば、改善する点もありましょう。
So Hartwick, partly, at least on the surface, he genuinely wanted to bring people here because he's fulfilling his mission, which is the exchange of ideas to further humanity's efforts in the war. He's purposely getting people together so they can learn about each other's specific tastes and TSF developments.
だが、硬直した思考から斬新なアイデアが生まれることは稀であることも事実です。交流の中から競争が生まれ、そこから新しいアイデアが誕生し、新技術として具現化される。事実、アメリカ軍がブルーフラッグに途中参加してきたのも、そこから得られる利益を認めたからこそではないでしょうか。
第65戦闘共同部隊が参加するようになった理由は聞かされていない。これは試験だが、持たない者同士が集まって時間と資金を浪費するよりも、持つ者に素直に教えを請うた方が、戦術機開発も各国の戦技も効率的に向上するのではないかね。
This guy sounds like an American for sure. Think about that. He's just saying like, wouldn't it be better to spend our money on the people who already have access to good TSFs rather than trying to help the people who are squandering in these old TSFs to kind of bring them up to our level? Like, what a bullcrap reason.
持つものであるアメリカ機の基礎データは、ヨーロッパなどの最前線で戦い抜いた英士、持たざる者の生命によって得たものです。司令は、彼らの労苦をないがしろにされるのですか?
I like Hartwick. I like him a lot.
私が言っているのは、単に効率の問題だ。 資金と時間をかけるのならば、それに見合った成果を出してくれと言っているのだ。
And we will.
お言葉ですが司令。ブルーフラッグに参加している実験小隊の中には、インフィニティーズに被験する成績を収めている部隊もあります。
大佐の指摘する部隊の想像はつくが、果たしてあれは、プロミネンス計画の産物と言っても良いものなのかね。プロミネンス計画は、あくまでも戦術機開発の技術交流を目的としているはずだが。
Technically there's the Russians too, but yeah, Project Prominence is what we're talking about.
少しよろしいか。
どうぞ。
ブレストン准将、一つ確認したい。今の准将の発言は、我々を指してのことだろうか。
アターエフ大佐。私としてはソ連軍の実験小隊を意識して発言した記憶はないが、機関にそう受け取られてしまったのであれば訂正しよう。今の発言はソ連軍を指してのものではない。
Okay.
訂正を受け入れましょう。誰にでも間違いはあるものだ。
ハルトウィック大佐。いずれにせよブルーフラッグは中止すべきだと考えているが、機関はどう考えているのだ。
ブルーフラッグは戦術機開発のマイルストーンとして十二分に機能しております。
私も頑固だが、君はさらに輪をかけているな。ブルーフラッグの成績を行動指針にしている国が果たしてどれだけ存在しているのか。
Oh, they absolutely will. And paint samples stolen from the Americans? Absolutely.
さて、将官も詳細は把握してはおりませんが、某国の特務機関が情報収集に当たっているという噂を耳にしたことがあります。
大佐、信憑性の乏しい憶測に過ぎない情報を重要案件の参考にしない方がいいぞ。
Interestingly, he's been making decisions on speculation too.
己にとって都合の悪い意見を封じようとする姿勢もいかがなものかと思いますが。
He's a prideful guy. I doubt he'll take it well, but Hartwick's got a point.
先ほども言ったように、時間は無限ではない。もう一度繰り返すが、ブルーフラッグには存在意義はあるのか。いつまでもアメリカやその他の国が無尽蔵に金を出してくれるわけではあるまい。進捗次第では、プロミネンス計画自体にも見直しが必要だと私は考えている。
I don't know, man. By all means. So far we're doing pretty good.
これらについて、次回の重要案件として検討したい。以上だ。
Cool. That went well. There she goes. 10:25 hours local time. It still stings. The mother trucker Leon sure didn't hold back. All the painkillers with 2 extra hours of basic conditioning drills to look forward to. When it comes to effing with me, that son of a bee's gosh darn genius. Wish he could stop bragging about his lineage for a second. Not like he's done anything worth mentioning. God, what does Sharon see in that butthole?
なんだよ。あいつら、ふざけてるのか？
そんなわけねえだろ。そんな冗談できるやつなんていねえって。
Oh, they're watching the Scarlet Twins.
じゃあどういうことなんだよ。同じ東側だからわざと手を抜いてやってるっていうのか？
What? Oh, jeez, look at those skills.
なんであんな奴らに追い込まれてるんだよ。同じソ連のメーカーでもスウォーニとミコヤム・グルビッチはライバル関係なんだろ？そうだよな、ヴィンセント。
ああ。ソ連が技術競争目的で自国内に2つの戦術機開発ラインを持ってたのは事実だ。でもな、もともとファルクラムは傑作機って言われてるんだぜ。それに干渉したインフィニティーズが異常なだけで、スカーレットツインの実力はこれくらいなんじゃないのか？
ヴィンセント、お前分かってないね。相手は関係ないんだよ。
Maybe.
スカーレットツインの動きがおかしいんだよ。
It's funny because like you can often attribute stuff that's not actually going on, so there could actually be an issue with the Scarlet Twins. Like maybe they're just not in sync right now. But you also could argue that like it is still in the best interest to at least make it look like while the Scarlet, like if the Scarlet Twin struggles to fight fellow Russians, but dominates against the Americans, it would send a really powerful message about all of the Russians. Darn it, Cryska, you still can't focus?
複座ってのは楽そうに見えっけど、搭乗員同士の息が合わないと能力が激減するんだよな。パートナーと喧嘩でもしたんじゃねえの？
いつもべったりくっついてるあいつらが喧嘩してダメになるなんてありえるのかよ。
案外 BG の言う通りかもしれないぜ。いくら仲が良くたってよ、そういう時もあんじゃねえの？
いや、ありえないね。理由はないけど、私にはわかる。
おいおい、根拠なしかよ。
Been 10 minutes already. Cryska and Inya should have wiped the floor with these guys long ago. Yeah, she's not doing that hot.
いずれにしても正気ね。そう思わない？ユイ。
そうだな。彼女たちは我々にとってインフィニティーズと並んでの
気に食わないね。水に落ちた犬を叩いて何が楽しいんだよ。
タリさんの言いたいこともわかるけど、スカーレットツインの操縦するチェルミナートルに勝利できれば、XFJ 計画の進捗を示す格好の材料になるでしょ？
Yeah, that's interesting.
だからそんな状況で勝っても意味ねえって。なあユウヤ、お前もそう思うだろ？
I suppose so.
すまない。学んだる少尉、ブリッジ少尉。A 氏のモチベーションを考慮しない発言をしてしまった。許してほしい。
おう、わかればいいんだよ。わかれば。
おい、ちょっと待て。
There we go. Boom. Boom. Does she like actually kill
なんだ
them?
よこれ。こいつら、この軌道でどうやって狙いをつけられるんだよ。
A normal human being couldn't move a fingertip during an IG maneuver like that.
まるで別人じゃねえか。すげえ。
いい加減、葉っぱでもかけられたんじゃね？
そんなんでこうも変わるもんか？調子が出たとか、そんなレベルじゃねえぞ。
Interesting. Maybe they just took a while to sync up properly.
いずれにしても、前半戦の不調の原因は何なのかしら。
ああ、喧嘩とか、そんな単純な話じゃなさそうだよな。
I'm getting some serious deja vu here.
私たちは戦わなければいけないのだ。
まあいい。とにかく今は気持ちを切り替えようぜ。せっかくユウヤが体を張って手に入れてくれたチャンスだしな。
Oh, are you talking about the date thing? You're enjoying this, aren't you? 11:45 hours local time.
ああ、来た来た。やっと来たぜ。
Alright, so I might be a bit awkward, but I think we're gonna end it here. Plus, there's a lot to chew on. There's so many intrigue things going on. I really can't keep up with it, unfortunately. Like, I pride myself on being able to kind of follow the threads of a story really well, but like, it's all these side characters, like I said. It's really kind of making a big mess, and it's hard for me to keep track of them all. Like, it's almost to the point where, like, I wish I could, like, make a list of characters and kind of, like, keep track of who they were. I could probably make much more accurate predictions and kind of see things coming along further away, but I don't know if it's really worth that effort, especially because, like, I already have a lot on my plate, so I'm just not sure if it's worth doing all that, but I don't know. Hopefully you guys don't mind and find that my commentary still interesting and worth, like, consideration. I've really had a lot of fun with Yui and Cryska and that whole conversation. That was enjoyable. I hate Leon. Like, gosh darn it, that guy. I totally get... They've written him really well because... Can I actually say there's anything wrong with him? No. He's kind of justified in a lot of his points of view, but at the same time, it's like, I don't like him. But yeah, other than that, like, it's been pretty good, and I'm really excited to see how this all pans out in the long term. But, you know what to say that for next week? I don't know how close we are. Like, it's one of those things where this game really draws out, like, the gaps between the fights. So, like, I know we have Infinities fight coming up, but, like, how many more parts till then? Who freaking knows? Could be 1, could be 12. We'll have to just figure that out when we get there, but I'm looking forward to it, and I really hope Yuuya wins, because I really want to wipe that smile off of Leon's face. But anyway, thank you so much for being here. Thank you especially to the patrons and members. You make it possible for me to grow and improve. And, you know, I'm going to be like getting that, making the upgrades necessary to keep making content and to make it in the way that like it's fun and dynamic and exceptional. I'm going to continue to improve myself, and you are all a major like motivator for that. So I appreciate your support and your trust in me. I hope you continue to find reason to support the channel and reason to come back and keep watching more. But, you know, until next week, we have lots of other good content to watch. So if you keep an eye on the channel, there's surely something that's going to catch your eye, and something that can, or something in the backlog, you know, there's a lot of good stuff. So hopefully you check it out. Hopefully you'll let me know what your thoughts are about this episode, but, you know, we'll get to that when we get to it. Thank you so much. And until next video watching me, I've seen me next. I'll see you there.